Hello everybody and welcome to the round of 128 in the pre-constructed deck tournament, GUStakes tournament number 3. We're playing Nature, they're playing Deception. These are all pre-constructed decks. 24 of the 30 cards are the same between our decks, and then there are 6 class-specific cards such as Best Friends. Double Best Friends, Barricade, we're going second. Barricade going second. Double Best Friends is very ambitious, but T1 Barricade, T2 GP Best Friends is actually a solid line. We could draw into better as well. Wait, we're going first. So I kept this draw with the assumption I was going second. I could play a defensive Barricade and then Best Friends. Yeah, but yeah, this doesn't... I made a rookie mistake. I looked at what the game was telling me rather than the number of mulligans I had. That was a mistake. So next turn I can play this and this. If I can stick jump on this, then that's actually pretty good. This is gonna, yeah, so they're gonna get value out of that. So now we can't sneak in the Best Friends. Keeping double Best Friends was ambitious on my part. So if we can stick this minion, of course they just peel. We can at least do this next turn, and jump on can go on this, worst case. They should definitely kill this minion. They probably do that very easily here. Pretty good start for them, getting out these two, removing our minion, these two effectively trading this minion for 5 mana and stats is a very good start for our opponent. Yep, that hits there. This is a line. I'm going to go with the simplest thing, which is just this. We'll keep our options open a little bit later here. Definitely awkward keeping the double Best Friends. I was planning the turn 1 Barricade, and then I thought I could sneak in Best Friends on 2. And yeah, I made a big play mistake there in the opening hand. Should have gotten a little bit more aggressive on the mulligan. With that being said, regretting to keep 1-drops in a welcome set format is what it is. They can GP, they can pick this off. We're left with very little. And that's exactly what they're going to do. So I can play Expectant Silverback here. I probably want to save my pip for some of our bigger drops. I don't need to be super aggressive with the Best Friends. Okay, they played a Barricade. If I play this and see what happens. Face was literally the worst place it could go. So the reason why I attack there is I'm leaving a lot of X1 minions on board. I'm going to go ahead and pip out the Best Friends just to expand wider. I need to gain some board initiative here. If this had hit anywhere else, we probably played the Axewoman there and then could have achieved a little bit more value than what we occurred. But this hitting face was the absolute worst case scenario. We're a little bit behind here. Jump on could be very effective if they're not super careful. So they might want to do this and this. If this lives, jump on and then here into here is huge. But they've got the Poison Dagger and they'll remove the 5/4 that way. See, the dream is that I could end up with a minion that doesn't die to their God power and play jump on and then run into here. But unfortunately, sometimes our dreams don't come true. This isn't Disney World. So they should hit here. This guy hits somewhere. And we are in a very bad situation. They're going to try to trade here. They miss and hit here. So this hits here. The question is, do we jump on or not? And we don't because we draw this. So we're going to try to hit here into here. Okay, and Hunt Warden, they're going to use their GP to hit here. They've got 3 cards in hand. We've got 1. So the advantage is them. We're behind in this game. Yeah, they've got 3 extra cards. They've had the early initiative. They've gotten to buy from the Sanctum with this. They can just GP here, and we are in an awkward spot. If we can stick a minion and jump on, we could potentially swing some value here. But not only are they ahead in the Sanctum, they probably have the next Sanctum pick as well. Because they can just GP here and go face. We can jump on here, but unless we get the 2 overkill to hit exactly here, then they can just trade and GP here. So I fully expect them to use their God Power to remove the Vanguard Axewoman here, but they surprise me and play the Hunt Warden, which is going to give me an opportunity to play the jump on here and the Vanguard Axewoman. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. So now I've got a lot of options. I want to play the jump on here. And we're hoping that the 2 points goes like in one destination that's not face. They split there. So this is going to trade here. We didn't get a lot of value there, did we? We were hoping for value and did not get value. We can't get to the Shield Maiden and the Sanctum regardless of what we do. So we're going to trade here and just use our God Power, and they're going to trade here. So we really didn't accomplish much. If we had high rolled and gotten both damage to the Hunt Warden, we could have picked off and had this stick, and then might have been in a situation to potentially come back and win this game. Instead, they're going to hit here. They can, at worst case, buy this. They could also play something much more fearsome as well. And they're going to go with that route. They play this, and they're going to grab this as well. So we are well behind. I'm not even sure we get the next Sanctum pick. We're so far behind. We draw the Volatile Imp, which is just a really bad card to draw at this stage of the game. They can just kill it with their God Power. And yeah, we should lose this game. This is not looking good. I don't like this nature deck, so I'm not going to play this nature deck again. It just doesn't flow very well. But we did keep a bad mulligan, but I thought I was going second, which caught me off guard. And that was partly on me by not paying enough attention, but partly on the game for being just so bugged and so annoying. And unfortunately, with these decks, there's very little skill. Once you fall behind, you just lose. There's no ways that you can really punish or initiate any sorts of comebacks. You just lose the game. So our opponent, they're going to rope here because, I don't know, they just want to torture us at this point. Yeah, we don't have to sit through this. Game number 1 did not go our way. It's not very interesting. The nature deck looked really bad, so I know not to play that again. Never playing that deck again. They're playing light. I'm playing magic. It says we're going second, but that could be fake news because we're actually going second in this game. You have to look up here. You can't just look at your hand anymore. Like reactive isn't bad in the opening hand. Okay, that's good. We'll keep this. Alright, we'll play the Dockside Prowler to start off here. You could have argued pipping out the Panacean Messenger, but we're not really getting value by doing that. This is probably the best turn 1 that any of the decks have, is playing the Wild Hog to open. The best turn 2 is Hunt Warden. Do they have everything? They pipped and now they're roping. Like you should, if you're using your pip, you should do your move instantly. You shouldn't pip and then think. You should, yeah. So they go with this barricade. So what we're going to do here is we're going to illuminate to deal 2 damage to this minion right here. And we're going to pip out the barricade. The barricade will slow this guy down a tad. And we can do stuff like this in this next turn. Try to gain some of the board initiative early in this game. So what we're going to see is this attack here. And now, hopefully, we can start from ahead of this game, as opposed to last game where we just fell behind and never had a chance. Okay, so this is going to work out great for us here. We're going to do 2 damage to enemy creature. Go ahead, hit there. This guy goes face. We go ahead, heal here for 1. We're going to go ahead and toss out the imp. We want to have the early pressure here. We want the Sanctum to be our friend, and the Sanctum should be our friend as long as we keep the initiative. So we've got a much better start this game. This barricade is actually looking good right now. It's slowed down the hog. We can use our GP to finish this off next turn. We've got the archer and the Sanctum. So now that the Sanctum's going to act as a second hand for us, since we have the initiative, we have very good chances in this game. That was big for them, getting the additional health onto the board. If I attack here, I'm 50-50 to kill here or here. Let's do it. Okay, that was an okay scenario as well. Because we hit here. Yeah, I want to just keep the initiative. The only thing that matters is the initiative here. So we go ahead, peel their board. They've got 4 cards in hand, but we've got 4 cards on board. We can control the Sanctum, which helps us dictate the pace of the game as well. Their god power gives them long-term value, which is why we have to stay ahead with the initiative. But since we're already ahead in this game, the Sanctum is like a second hand. This is a very effective minion. I have to peel it. Unfortunately, I have to give up these 2 minions in the process to do so. This guy goes face. So that was an effective turn for them, but we have a 6/5 on board, which is of value. They've got 5 cards in hand to our 0, so the late game was going to belong to them. We have to press forward with our early initiative to have a chance in this game. For them, their deck has an 8-drop Peacebringer, which is kind of a game changer in terms of this format. And that's a slow route there. They're not adding to the board. They're buffing their hand by playing that card, and then they play this, which gets absolutely no value at all. So what I would like to do is I would like to buy this to kill this. However, we can't necessarily set that up. So, okay, that went face, and now we can set that up. This can go face. We can use the form of power here. And we are still pushing forward, using that Sanctum as a second hand. You never want light to have additional stuff on board, because bad things happen if that's the scenario. So you see here they play a 3/5. Okay, what we're going to do here, actually if we just go face we win. That guy hit exactly where I didn't want to. I thought about making that trade first to prevent that attack from even being possible. Instead, we go face here. The Lambasting Wand is a problem for them. Their deck has a mild amount of healing, but this guy has to go into one of the barricades. That is the heal. So the way this works is this heals their face, but if they attack here, they're 50% to heal here. So it'll be interesting how they do this. Thing is if the Riled Earth Sign goes face, it's lethal regardless. So we'll just go ahead and resolve the tension. Jeez, every time the turn starts, it starts with an insane lag spike. Okay, he goes face, and we've got lethal. And game 3 is now necessary. Welcome to game number 3. They're playing light, we're playing war. We just want to come out here with a lot of speed. A pretty good hand. We're going second though. Let's just keep it. If I get greedy on the mulligan, it can get a lot worse. Hatchet T1's a line, but we're just going to play hog. The reason being, I don't want to just trade this for this. We might want to get better value out of this. Okay, that hit there. Okay, they have a 1/4. Now I can play this and get some value. They're going to hit here, I hit here. This is still a 3/3 though. Let's just stick with this. Keep things simple. No need to attack with this because they'll do that attack on their own time. Next turn we're probably running this. We're probably playing Hatchet and we're probably playing Barricade. Raid Reveler's a pretty good card too. Double Volatile Imp, interesting. So will they attack with this minion? They do, and it goes face. Playing this on this board isn't particularly great. The issue I have is if one imp hits here, they full clear. So this actually is the line with the most ambiguity. It's the most ambiguous line. This is a key minion now. They can trade these two to here, but they don't get immediate value. It's awkward to play this with this on board. It's also very likely that, they, worst case, they can just GP. They're basically taking the turn off by playing that. Axewoman is huge for them here. Because now if this Afterlife hits here, they can peel here, guaranteed. And they get the roll. They get the 50-50 to break in their favor. And that's unfortunate for us. So we're going to play this. We've got this in our back pocket as a trick for next turn. We could have played this and this turn, but this goes into this very cleanly. They're unlikely to have the second axe woman, but I mean they could. This is a very close race on the favor end. Ooh, that's a key card. Okay, Ral Ursine was a very good top deck. So we can hit here. This does regen, and we can play this. This threatens to hit there sometimes. They might trade here. They probably can't reach for this turn, but then I probably can't reach for it next turn. They probably get to this. They probably get the first Sanctum play, which is big because this is definitely the best card in the Sanctum. If they have the card that gives +1 health, I think we're in trouble. But they just straight up trade. I think we're happy with that. And they play this. Okay. So we can hatch it here. Now I'm going to deny favor, because we can play the Raid Reveler. So we're a little bit behind on health, but we're a little bit ahead on the board. We have a very good chance of picking up the Shield Maiden next turn. We want this to hit here. This was a very bad draw. If this guy hits here, it's worst case scenario, right? Well, no, wait. Would I rather him go face or hit here? I think I'd rather him hit here. So I'm going to attack with this first. See, I was planning out my worst case scenario that turn. I'm going to buy the Felid Tracker, very unexcitedly buy the Felid Tracker. I'm not excited to purchase this. But drawing the Achillean Dedicant was the worst card that we could have drawn in our deck. It's the only 8-drop, and I don't think this game 8-drop is going to be relevant. Vow Champions replaces Fellow Tracker in the Sanctum, which is not what we wanted to see. They do that trade. This guy should trade somewhere. Does make it awkward for some of the minions that they could potentially play here, because they don't want to just trade with this. Dockside Prowler will draw a 1-drop in a situation we do not want to draw a 1-drop. So we'll go ahead, peel there, peel, and all we can do is this and this. They're going to hit here into here. We are getting them a little bit low, which is something for them to consider. So they peel here. We can get them down to 5 by going face. We've got to get that off the board, though. This is a very key minion for our opponent. We really need our next draw to be good. Like, if we could get a Juggernaut off the top, that would be the best. We've got a 1 in 19 chance of drawing Juggernaut here. Okay, they go ahead and make that even more bulky. We do not get the Juggernaut that we were hoping for. So now we have to think. So there's 2 different ways we can play this. We can grab this to kill this by play this. Okay, this is the correct line. So face, face. Shield Maiden's a line too. The Vow kills this though. does this, do this. Now, here's an awkward situation for them. This is going to hit here. But if this heals itself and they don't have another front line or something, this and this and this threatens lethal next turn. So they need some positive RNG from this, and they or obviously have a useful play this turn. Ooh, that was a useful play this turn. Now they're guaranteed to heal themselves. And we have to kill this, obviously, because it's frontline. That might have been the worst card in our entire deck that we could have drawn. Going to go ahead, just deny them favor. They're going to value trade us this turn, though. This hits here, this hits here. And then the question is can our God Power outrace them? So the imp going face here is not bad. The imp hitting here is the worst case scenario. Now they need to do the order of operations right to have the 1 in 3 chance of the imp hitting here, because they're obviously trading this and trading this. Or actually, they probably should use their God Power and then play whatever they have in their hand, yeah, as well. They drew the Juggernaut. We've been wanting the Juggernaut for a long time, but they're the ones that gets it. And they secure the guaranteed the Juggernaut to hit here. And we need this guy to go face. He goes face. So, okay. We have Vicious Rend in our deck. So that would be a 2-turn lethal if we draw Vicious Rend and they don't draw help. They're buying the Wind-Up Roller, which could actually help us. So, just distracting them at the moment. Now, next turn, we might play the Achillean Dedicant. We don't know. Now, the interesting thing is that this guy goes face, then this represents lethal. So, this Juggernaut's attack is very important right now. Hopefully, Juggernaut goes face, and then this guy can go face, and we can hit him with the Slayer lethal. The Juggernaut listens to our opponent, which is bad for us. Now we have a decision to make unless we draw Vicious Rend. We don't. So if both of their confused creatures go face, they win. If we play this, we're no longer threatening lethal with our GP. So I think the correct play is hope that one of these misses. And then just try to get there with the God Power. We had one Runeblade left in the deck too. So we actually had 2 outs for lethal, a 1 in 7 chance to top deck lethal there. And obviously 50-50 on the Juggernaut. They need both, if both of these go face, they win. If one of these misses, then this does represent lethal. Now, if they have a way to kill one of these 2 minions, if they can kill this minion, then they can guarantee these. Oh, but this guy misses, and the Slayer represents lethal. If they don't have heal, we've got lethal. They buy the Ambitious Adventurer, digging desperately for a healing. They get stat buffs, but that's not going to be enough. The Slayer, the skill button gets it done. And wow, that's as close of a game that you can have. A game number 3 comes down to the skill button, and well, that was tight. But we go ahead and advance to the round of 64.